Mix in nice and slow.
So you can't drink that. That can't hydrate you.
No, you would die.
You would die.
No! You'll thank me later.
You would die.
Okay. We're here today with Dave from Landmark Painting, and we're going to be going through some of the processes on how to prep a lacquer material to spray a cabinet door, just like what we talked about with Luke at Contour Cabinets. So Dave, why don't you tell me first off, what is the product that we're going to be mixing?
This is M.O. Campbell Torino. This is probably one of the best post-catalyzed conversion varnishes you can get on the market.
Post-catalyzed, that's what we're talking about?
A hardener is added after the fact,
Okay.
which is typically like you can get pre-catalyzed ones, but they don't get to the same level of hardness as anything you would add a hardener to. This is a, the high-end best product.
Right. So this material is specifically for cabinet doors.
Cabinet doors, the solid colored ones, mostly cabinet doors, kitchen finishes and that stuff, but the clears, lots of people will use for stair treads, or even they're hard enough for flooring or any other things like that, handrails.
Yeah. The other episode that we were in, we were talking with Luke about door finish options, and he kind of went through, obviously, the solid color options, which is one that's kind of in there right now, clear options. And so what today are we going to be kind of coating?
Today we will be coating some cabinet doors for Luke that he needs this afternoon, actually.
That he needs this afternoon, okay.
So, accuracy is critical. If you over-catalyze things, you can run into issues where you'll have blotching and like discoloration.
So do you have to modify that catalyzation, like inside the, do you control that?
Yep. So you pour in, and then this catalyst is 10%. So we poured 450 mils in there. So we're gonna want 45 mils of catalyst. And so you mix in while you're stirring. If you just dump, again, you can run into issues and inconsistencies. So pour nice and slow, mix in, mix thoroughly. And then also, depending out of like tip size or what kind of gun you're using, you add a reducer to it as well, just so it sprays out a little more fluid. For what I spray with, I usually add about 10% reducer. I believe you can take this up to 20% depending what you're using, but that's a little bit much for me.
And so what's our working time with this product that you mix? Because now you've obviously added an activator or some type of hardener
Yeah,
to
pot
it.
life is about 12 to 14 hours. You can still spray it after that, but it slowly like degrades and degrades. That's like the peak performance level. So reducer, I'm gonna go 10% again, so 45 mils. Mix in nice and slow.
So you can't drink that. That can't hydrate you.
No, you would die.
You would die.
No! You'll thank me later.
You would die.
Okay. So note to self.
Yeah. Yeah, avoid eye contact too. That really hurts. From experience, I can tell you that.
Right.
These cups have a filter that goes inside on the top, so you don't have to strain the material before. You want to make sure you're on right, because if you put a big drip in the middle of a door, it's actually unbelievably hard. Even if you think you've sanded it out, you can still kind of see. So you want to do that, double check.
So you really need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's super easy to make mistakes.
Super easy to make
Super easy to make mistakes.
Yeah, big mistakes.
Yeah, so that is the mixing process for this.
So that is a post-catalyst conversion varnish.
Yeah, which would vary from like lacquers or like conversion varnishes or like solid levels in the material.
And so bringing it all the way back to, for those people that don't know anything about lacquers, there's obviously paint materials that would compare, let's try to compare the level of quality between different levels of finish. So if you're regular wall paint, what would that compare to this?
Nothing.
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 So this is
there
much
are
more
there
durable.
are like regular paint finishes that
Yeah.
are pretty decent cabinet finishes,
Yeah.
like urethane enamels and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But they're a little bit higher grade and getting into the price of this kind of stuff anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't just walk into the store and buy this.
Okay. You have to kind of have an account or
Yeah, like this has
be
a,
trained in it.
they usually have a sticker on the top that says shop supplied only.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Like you have to be trained.
yeah.
Okay. So DIY can't just go buy.
No, you can buy something similar to it, probably
Yeah.
a pre-catalyzed version.
okay.
But
Simpler system.
simpler system, and
Yeah.
then yeah.
Okay, we're back in the paint booth with Dave, and we're actually gonna hit this door or spray this door with the lacquer material. But I just want to touch on what we're in right now. So this is a confined room that is designed to draw the air up through these channels and then exhaust it out and filter it out into the environment, and it cleans it as it goes out into the air. There's also a bake cycle inside of this, so once we're done painting this, we can leave, turn the heat up, and actually lay some heat to this material so that it, I guess, hardens or activates.
Yeah, hardens faster.
So I'm gonna get out of the way so you can do your thing.
So you want to get rid of all your dust from sanding, otherwise you're going to have a terrible finish. Especially with dark colors, everything really shows like, you know, the tiniest speck of dust, it's respray,
Yeah.
right? So you want to make sure you blow it off really good, edges, face. You want to run your hand over it, make sure your sanding's all good. And then after the blow off, we take a tack rag, go around to pick up anything that the blow off might have missed. And then yeah, one more quick blow off. So little test, you know, like when you grab the tongs, you always gotta clip them a little bit too. And then edges first. To the inside too. Two.
You already done?
Oh yeah. Hopefully there looks good.
Yeah, no runs.
No runs.
Now that we've got is this our first layer, is this our final coat?
This would be a final coat. We do 2 coats of primer, sand in between each coat, and then 2 coats of top coat for finish.
And then so this
Which is a little bit overkill, but it definitely is a nicer finish.
nicer finish.
Yeah.
The higher level product. And
Yeah.
Gunter is a custom cabinet company, so they
Yeah.
probably have that expectation already.
Yes.
So will you now turn the heat up in here and bake this thing?
Yeah.
Like baking a loaf of bread?
Not quite that hot, but 140 Fahrenheit. It flashes for about 10 minutes at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, just so it has time to gas off. If you dry it too fast and it seals over the top before it gases out, all those solvents are still trying to come out and they make little bubbles
Okay.
and things.
So it's really
So,
important. Again,
yeah.
small mistakes.
Small mistakes.
You can make lots of small mistakes.
Lots of small mistakes. There's
Wow.
always an opportunity.
See, and I guess everybody thinks that they can lacquer cabinet doors, but apparently I don't even have a clue how to do it. So, and I feel like I can know how to do anything. I'm just kidding. In one life, I thought I could
It's
do
one of
anything.
those things that's, you know, it's not that hard to do,
Yeah.
but it's really hard to do it well.
Yeah, unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not everybody has, you know, a $100,000 paint booth in their garage, so
No.
it's probably pretty hard for them to do this properly
Yes.
without damaging themselves. Because right now we're standing in here and it's completely tolerable.
Yeah, it's
like
cleared out
obviously
by now.
the odor is gone and exhausted through the space almost immediately. So, you know,
If we were outside of a spray booth, it would be misty still right now.
Yeah.
We'd be kind of in a fog of harshness.
of death.
Yeah.
Of death. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, that is super informative on doors and different finishes. So obviously you could tweak the color, you could change, pretty much do any color, any profile. Really, sky's the limit. It's just like painting a wall.
Yeah. Tons of options.
Except it's very hard to do.
Yeah, tons of options.
Nice. I'd like to thank Dave for taking the time today explaining us on how to mix lacquer materials and how to install them on cabinet door frames. So thanks for taking the time. Make
You're
sure
welcome.
to subscribe to this video and share it out to your friends.
Your piece is nice and clean. Take up a ton of dust on everybody. Again, you should wear a respirator. This isn't as bad as the lacquers and stuff, but
You're doing it all
You do
day.
it for a couple hours, and you really start feeling it, and it's really not good for you. So as a good example, I will put mine on.